Ask me. Ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. I know we have thousands of listeners, but I have to tell you, I always feel a little bit like a noob loser when I'm talking to like a new friend and they're like, oh, what are you going to do? I was like, oh, I have to go record my podcast. They're like, oh, you have a podcast? Like if you're known for your podcast, like it's not the first thing people think of, but I want to be like, yeah, I've been doing this for like 9 years.
Right. You are not a latecomer to the space. It is. I mean, it's when I'm doing my own podcast, it's especially sad. I'm
Personal.
like, I need to go do my yeah. It's like I need to go to my podcast that not many people listen to. It's kind of just for me, but I need to go dedicate some time to that.
Yeah, I'm like, to even explain yourself makes it sound kind of loserish. Like, yeah, it's me and my old assistant, and I swear people love it. And then to make it worse, I like got on this computer. I was like, I look so cute today. And it's like, no, I sweat. So like these hairs are weird. And like, oh, what's this? All the postpartum vitamins in the world. And you get these 2 catfish tentacles. Like, awesome.
Well, and just explaining to people like, you were one of the first advice podcasts, and now every celebrity is like, I'll just give advice because it's easier. You know?
Here's the dirty secret about podcasts that nobody wants to admit, okay? Podcasts are easy in that the idea is you show up, and because you are yourself, people want to hear it. Even when you have to pitch a podcast, I see it. It's like, yeah, we like look stuff up on the internet and then like craziness happens because we all just want to be funny. Nobody wants a fucking format. And most podcasts are very bad, and most people think they're funny and they're not. And I'm not saying this is a perfect podcast, but like, I remember doing a panel once and people were like, so like, what does your podcast mean to you? And I'm like, all these people are on TV shows. It means money. It means I'm famous. I made a brand. Would you like to hear more? It's not for the art of this isn't like NPR. This is you tuned in to hear these hot takes and it's funny. And I don't know. I'm sorry that it's not Joe Rogan experience, but like it is so hard. I feel like so many of our episodes start with me being like, here's why this is not as great as it could be.
It's pretty good, all things considered. I mean, I just think any podcast from someone where that's not their only job, it's also a different vibe. Like you have 80 other jobs. You can't be doing...
It is impossible to do this podcast without me being starving. Like it's always me texting. I'm like, I need 10 minutes to eat my lunch. Like and we have a 3-hour time difference.
What do you got there? What are you drinking? Fun coffee?
Fucking third coffee of the day, and I am I'm edging.
Oh,
edging to a nervous
coffee.
Breakdown.
No,
edging coffee.
Edging
it's
a
just
nervous breakdown is just having a little bit of anxiety every day.
Well, I just came from a workout with this other mom from my daughter's class. That's right. She invited me, and it's like an electromagnetic workout where like you put on a suit. In high school, remember like you would do like ice and stem. Like when you were, or stim, like stimulation, like it would like pulse and like electric pulses through you if you're like your muscle was aching. So this is your whole body and you do like a low key workout. It's 25 minutes long. I'm excited to see if tomorrow I'm like sore because it's like a triple workout in one.
Because you're working out and you're getting shocked while you work out.
It's like stimulated. Like it's like bzzz, like
is that
you can
like
feel
that belt that people used to wear?
No, it's not vibrating you.
Oh.
So I just came from that. And of course I had to grab a coffee after. And here I am. And my son is very sick. So that is just not going to go. He's fine.
Did he make it through Halloween?
Made it through Halloween. But like, it's just, anybody that has kids knows like when your child is up every hour on the hour, like my husband got up with him. But like, it felt like, here's the thing. I went out on Saturday night with some other moms who I'm friends with. I never go out. Noah always carves out time to like hang out with his friends and do stuff. I never do it because I'm always working. And I carved out this night. We went out. I didn't drink that much. We went like to a cute bar after and like danced. And I was like, this feels so good. And you come home and your kid is so sick. And it feels like the universe being like, oh, what's that? You thought you could enjoy all your hard work for a second? Fucking no way. And I get it. I get why people completely break. And your kid's crying and you're just like, maybe if I just let them cry, they'll just fall asleep and I don't have to go back in there. And he's like, Mommy. I'm like, oh, now you want me? Because you only ever want the nanny, but now you want me? Hard pass. Thanks, Ethan.
Try again next time, Ethan.
Try loving me more when you're better. Try loving me at my best. Not when you're at your worst.
He only wants you at his worst.
Fucking whatever. And then you talk about it and you're like, oh, I've become the parent that talks about their kid being sick, because when you hear other people's kids are sick, you're like, ooh, you're gross. You did something gross to get them sick. So poor little baby, little chunky man. Anyway, it's about you guys. And I hope that you, Emily, think about episodically that the holidays are here and it's time for like juicy Thanksgiving drama, because I can't share my family Thanksgiving drama and that kills me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Everybody write in your drama. You can.
I have so much family stuff that I'd love to talk. Maybe I'll write in as a question asker and give myself advice.
Fake. Ask Iliza podcast at gmail.com or the Patreon, Ask Iliza anything. We have chat threads. You can join for free and leave chat threads for free without
You can for free upload your coffee, which I love checking that, your pets. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Hey,
by the way, I'll just say this now in case you turn off. I was just saying, I'm headed to Philadelphia and DC, two crowds that fucking slap. And I cannot wait for these shows. I will be bringing Liquid Veneer, my dog. Chenier Bassoon. So she will be there.
No one's ever going to know if you have a stroke because you're going to say those words and people will be like, yep, sounds
Ripsack,
normal.
Addleton. The amount of venues I've walked into where people are like, oh, we thought you were bringing the dog. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I couldn't balance a dog and a baby. So
it's too much. Yeah, people can't pet a baby.
You can. You might go to jail, but you can do it.
All right.
A couple big strokes in. Okay.
Iliza, Emily, and all the squishies. I wrote in a little over a year ago, and I'm happy to say I've remained Sweden. Husband's siblings have cut out their parents and us as well after last year's holidays. Oh, remain neutral.
I thought that, isn't that Switzerland? No one says Sweden.
Yes.
Okay.
So it said one of the sister-in-laws used my fresh at the time baby to fuel an unprompted crazy lady monologue towards our mother-in-law about what it meant to be a good grandma. And that was that for me. We've been no contact and we'll be keeping it that way for a while. So perfect. So this person had some sort of drama. Now they're not talking to them. Great. But in a separate vein, our little boy has a nanny who is a cousin of my husband. When she began working for us, I was genuinely more concerned about her keeping him alive than doing any chores in the house. Now, at over a year old, I'm still primarily responsible for cleaning house. Husband helps. We're both full-time. Him in a trade and me a retail manager. Sometimes it would be nice to come home to clean dishes that we've done the night before, clean high chair, nothing crazy, just well kept.
The nanny is leaving a mess in her wake, which is horrible with childcare. Anytime someone just like leaves it a mess, you're like, oh, cool. So you get to just do whatever the fuck you want and I have to just clean it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our nanny has a sister that
has said sorry.
Our nanny has a sister that has cleaned the house for us before when I hosted my whole family from another state. And she did a wonderful job. My question is, do I hire the sister once a week to come and clean and reset some of the things that keep us up till midnight when we do it ourselves? Or do I offer to add on a little more weekly for our nanny to start taking care of those things while she is here? She has nannied for other families with these expectations, but always complained about it. Thanks, big sister Sophie.
Well, here's the thing. A cleaner coming once a week, you want that cleaner to do things like change your sheets, sweep the floors, like bigger things. Them coming once a week actually will not alleviate any of your daily stresses because that's only one day that she's doing the dishes and you have dishes the other 6 days. So she should not be expected to clean like a cleaner, but I do think it's fair that she should clean up as she goes. You're not asking her to wax your car. You're saying, if you serve my kid lunch, please clean those dishes because you're creating more work for me.
It sounds like that's part of it, but also that it's like, oh, it would be nice if somebody would clean the whole family's dishes. Can I pay her a little more? And I think,
because that's too muddy.
Yeah, because she's saying that she's complained before when she's had to do that stuff, but I'm guessing she wasn't paid specifically more. So Iliza, you don't even think she should say, hey, look, would you want to make an extra 20 an hour? And
because she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I gave you $20, but you didn't do X, Y, and Z. And she'll be like, well, you didn't say that. That was really more your thing. A nanny is not there to clean up after your family, but a nanny, it should include everything with the baby. And I just remember when we hired Myrna, I said, what do you do? And she's like, everything with the baby.
Yeah.
Meaning like if there's poop, if there's a diaper, if there's a bed, like she's like, and that's like their little world. Our nanny is such a team player and we are lucky and she's great. And if the kid's napping, and she's already had her lunch, like she'll help clean up. It should be like It's nice that she does it. I've never asked her to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't expect her to clean up after me. If I left a dish this morning and there's 3 other dishes from our child, it's nice that she does it. So I think it's maybe she wants more, but this person doesn't sound like the kind of person who's going to be a team player. So I do think it's fair to be like, I need you to help clean up after the child. Like everything involved with the kid, I cannot come home to a mess left behind because you were playing with him.
Yeah.
And then if not, you have to hire someone else. Like you don't want to be nervous that your employee and people are going to get mad. They're like, she's supposed to just do childcare. Childcare is all encompassing. And it is also caring for the environment of that child.
I agree on that. Yeah. If you want more, I mean, is there anything to be done about the daily stuff?
How much of a mess is it? Like, is she just home with the kid? Like, what is the daily stuff?
It says her dish. She's like, oh, it'd be nice if we didn't have to stay up till midnight doing our own dishes and tidying after a full day at work.
Right. I think you need to delineate like which is your mess, which is the kid's mess. Because you're right. It shouldn't be her and you should have to pay her more for that. A cleaning lady once a week will help overall to keep things tidy. How many dishes are you doing? Are you creating that you're staying up till midnight?
I guess it's just tasks like that. I think they should start with the sister once a week, see if that alleviates or makes you feel kind of better about what's going on in the home, or if you still notice little things that bug you.
I don't know. I think you make a list of all the things that are child related that are not getting done, and then look at what's left. Because it might just all be kind of balled up. It's like, wow, well, if she cleaned the kitchen after the kid ate dinner, then it really is just my dishes. And you're an adult. You can do your dishes. This woman should not be expected to clean up after you and your husband. But you're definitely missing like a teamwork kind of like, let's just all pitch in. Because like I clean my house constantly. I almost want to like send video to my nanny to be like, just so you know, like there was a pot there this morning, but I did. Like I was doing stuff. But yeah, I don't think she doesn't want to. And also you could get a different nanny. I know it's hard, but like this thing where you're afraid of your childcare and this thing where like, because we've been taught to hate ourselves as people who have disposable income in this country, like you're supposed to just be thankful and like whatever they can do for you, like you are employing her.
Yeah.
And this is what's expected.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you didn't establish that at the beginning. But I think she knows that she's kind of being sloppy. And she's like, I dare you to say something.
Hello, Iliza, Emily, and all member of the pod crew, furry and non-furry alike. I am hoping I can get some big sister advice, so much so that I joined the Patreon at 3 a.m. on a sleepless night due to a business dilemma I find myself in. I've always appreciated Iliza's nuanced perspective and have been listening to the pod weekly since day one when I discovered it in grad school. I know.
25 years ago.
So I, female 29, currently work as a mental health counselor in a private practice. The practice itself is a group that was started when I was an intern by the man I was being supervised by. We've always had a very friendly, supportive, and collaborative working relationship up to this point, and I'm truly at a loss. I have been his right-hand man since opening the practice. I've been at the forefront of hiring choices, administrative choices, and training since we teamed up to get this business going while I was gaining my license. Up to this point, I had a large level of autonomy and independence in my role that goes much beyond working as a counselor, leading him often to referring to us as business partners. About a year ago, I decided to leave our brick and mortar location and work remotely so I could let one of the new interns work from the office I occupied there. I was perfectly content working from home, minding my business, and contributing to the training, onboarding, hiring process. At the beginning of 2025, my, quote, business partner offered me the opportunity to open a second location. He wanted to expand to hire more counselors, expand the mission.
What kind of counselors are they?
It's just mental health counselor in a private practice.
Okay.
We went on bi-monthly visits to potential properties with the emphasis that I had to be fully on board with the location selected to my specifications, since I would be running it nearly independently of the original location. He stated he wanted me to choose, design, and run this new location with a pretty awesome financial agreement attached to it that required a lot of upfront time invested on my end with no financial return until we were profitable. Now that we have signed the lease to this building and I've returned from my cozy work from home life into office and business building world, I am feeling as though my level of autonomy was greatly misrepresented. For the last month, I've been at the new site, receiving packages, building furniture, hiring and training counselors, and practicing full time out of boxes. I was fine with this until this week when I realized how much I've been pushed out of any design choices by slowly having everything I purchased, I was given a company card, returned and debated over. It's really scaring me to see how intensely he seems to have 180'd from what was originally promised. Right now, this is just over the entire look and design of the building, but I fear what is to come as we move forward. I've spent countless hours of my time searching for furniture and art for this new office with approval from him, only to have everything changed at the final hour right before opening. This would probably all even be okay if we didn't have drastically different ideas about how to design a space. I'm now being asked to continue to help to purchase and get the office together while being told it has to fit the, quote, brand. Quite out of nowhere. For reference, the brand is big, flashy color that completely clashes with the old wooden house turned office building we signed the lease for. And I don't even know how to help or feel okay about how badly this situation was misrepresented. How do I proceed? I've signed a contract and sunk a lot of time and energy into this endeavor, but I'm seriously concerned about being micromanaged stepping into the site manager role. I miss my cozy work from home, leave me be life with my clients where I didn't squabble over very ugly rugs and have to constantly return random bits of furniture. Is it too late to back out? Is burning it all down to hasty help? One more piece of context. The practice owner's wife is a stay-at-home wife of two. So it's a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom of two, who was formerly in marketing. It had been both directly and indirectly indicated that a lot of these sudden changes are coming from her and the brand vision she developed. That's all well and good, but not what I signed up for or was informed about until this week. 30 days into working for free and 5 days prior to opening.
That's tough because it's all coming from her and he wants to keep his wife happy. You signed a contract. I don't know what was in the contract, but you were told, and it's tough because this is all subjective, right? In the contract, is it like you are allowed to design, choose, and pick all of these things pending his final approval? Or was it you have autonomy over these things? Even that doesn't seem like something you could put in a contract. I think it's more about a harbinger of like what's to come. And I think what you're seeing is this writing on the wall of like, cool, because you don't actually care what the rugs look like. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if it was your taste, but like it is his practice at the end of the day. What you don't want to do is sign up for all this blood, sweat, and tears. And now you're not even at home. And now you have no autonomy whatsoever. And you're going to get less and less. Who knows what else the wife is going to take over. This guy has no backbone. So I think you need to have that come to Jesus with him. He's not going to pick you over his wife. But I think this is about you having an ironclad contract and you get paid starting now.
Yeah, because my hope is she fancies herself a designer and she thinks this part is fun. And once the office is actually set up, she's not going to care anymore. She's not going to be involved. But I get why you see this as a harbinger.
It's also like, you're like, I'm not a designer. Like I am a counselor as well. And I'm here to do this and I'm happy to set stuff up. But I need something in writing saying that like I'm an equal partner in this, or I'm going to get like, you need an indicator moving forward that you will be able to build more of what you want, not just build and rebuild furniture. And it's also a waste of time and your skill set.
Can't wife go work on the flagship store? Like, I don't understand this, but
also you're not an assistant. Like, am I the manager of this building or am I in charge of this practice?
It sounded like she was kind of setting it up in the way that she felt would work best, based on her needs, since she'll be in this building. And then this woman who doesn't even work here is coming in and changing things based on purely aesthetics.
The issue is even less that. The issue is your opinion is not being valued or heard. And it was exactly what your boss said you could get to do. So he's not keeping his word. And he probably doesn't think it's a big deal. He's like, well, my wife's like this. Okay, so just return it. Now you're running around building furniture, returning stuff.
Been there.
If he wants to hire you as a branch manager of a building, then he can do that. But what are you getting? And he'll be like, look, you're getting paid to be there one way or the other. And you wouldn't care what the color was, what the furniture was or anything if that was never a part of your job description in the first place. Like if you just took that job, you wouldn't think about it. I think this is about putting something in writing, getting on the same page as him and making sure that your role is clearly defined moving forward. Either I have full autonomy over this or I need to start getting paid now and I will just be running this building per your specifications, but that will require a lot less work from me. Like you can't be jumping through all the mental hoops that you're jumping through and getting cut off at the knees.
Yeah, this was put in here 6 days ago. They said in 5 days is the launch. Now, the hope is now that it's launched, it's going to be fine. But yeah, I think you need to have a conversation. If you trust this guy and you were willing to go to bed, you need to have a conversation with him like, I'm a little worried because what we had talked about is not what's happening. So
this guy seems like a nice, good guy and you've been working together forever. So I think you come at it from a place of like, I want to find a way that I feel valued, that I still get to work with you. Yes. So I just want to express the way I've been feeling. And I feel like he'll be like, oh my gosh, that was never the intention. My wife like this, whatever. And you're like, that's fine. I just need in writing now a clearly defined role so that we can both enjoy our relationship.
Or he'll say, well, my wife's the CFO now. Deal with it.
You can just fucking leave too. Like you're not there to like receive boxes. Like you have a degree.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I discovered Eliza's comedy when I stumbled upon Elder Millennial and have since watched all the specials and been to a live show. And I recruited 6 friends to go with me. We were all crying laughing.
That's what you want.
Rolling deep. I found the pod a few years ago and I look forward to it every Wednesday. I do have a master's degree, but I don't have a big sister. So here I am. Here's my struggle. I want a baby, but my husband does not. Oof. I am a 34-year-old mother of 2, currently 4 and 2, girl and boy. Reminds me of that Amelia Perez song. I really want another baby, but my husband, also 34, says that our family is complete and doesn't want a third, especially since we got one of each. I love our 2 kids dearly, but just have a constant feeling that there should be another one, and I love the idea of the kids having multiple siblings. I also have had wonderful pregnancies and love little babies, so potentially closing the book on that chapter of my life makes me feel sad. My husband and I both work full-time and we're very comfortable financially, but he's concerned that having another child would make things like traveling more difficult for us. And he's anxious about going through newborn sleep deprivation again. He's also worried that there won't be enough of him and I to go around if we have another. I understand where he's coming from with these concerns, and I'm not expecting having another kid to be super easy, but I am willing to assume that we would successfully figure it out the same way we've adapted to parenting 1 and now 2 kids so far. For context, both my husband and I grew up with 2 siblings. We've been married 10 years and are still very in love. I know we technically have time, but I really want to have a third before I get much older and before the age gap between 2 and 3 gets much wider. If I got pregnant today, the gap would already be longer than the gap between kids 1 and 2. It's pretty much impossible to compromise on having a kid, and we don't want a dog, LOL. We've talked about this and each knows how the other feels, but I don't bring it up.
Only a psycho is like, get an animal. That's the exact same
thing.
That's a crazy thing to even say.
I don't bring it up all the time because I don't want him to feel like I'm trying to pressure him. But at the same time, I feel like the clock is ticking. What do I do? Just try to accept I won't have another? Take a pin to the Trojans? Hope that life finds a way? Help. Well, no, don't do that.
Well, I guess the question is like, how good are you at sex? Like you could be having sex with him and like right as he's at the edge, you can just be like, do you want to get off in me? He'll be like, I do. Be like, let's do. Like,
no. Like,
I'm gonna jump. Like, do you want it? In the moment, he'll be like, okay.
No.
It is easier to not have the baby than it is to have it, and then he'll be miserable. If you had to pick one or the other, I would say your life is complete. It is. I mean, it's not for me to say if it's complete, but you do have 2 kids. It is so much work. 3 is wild.
That outnumbers you.
It outnumbers you. You don't have room in the car. If it's something that you spiritually, like I didn't feel okay with just 1. I needed to have 2. So I understand that feeling of like, I'd like to get this done. But your husband is 50% of this. And as much as feminists are going to get angry at this, like his feelings do matter just as much as yours in this. And you want him to feel good about it, not beaten down and like a little resentful because he's going to have to get up for those feedings. Like he's going to be in it with you.
When he wants to go on vacation, how are you going to get enough leashes for all the children?
And like, I don't know, do the math. I don't know your finances, but like that could be the thing that makes it so that you can go on vacation once every 6 years versus every year.
Because they're going to have different school schedules.
Oh my God, it's so much work. And if you don't care and you'll figure it out, I do think 3 is a much different thing. And I think, my question to you is this a deal breaker? If he doesn't want 3, is your life ruined? It's not like you have no children. I just think it's a little unfair. Is he going to get to a place where he's like, okay, if you really want this, is he going to get to a place where he would be like, all right, sure, if you do most of the work, but if he really doesn't want to do it, I think that you have to defer to him because I'm sure there's a principle of this of there's
2
staying the way it is
yeses,
versus blowing it up.
Like the binary of kids or no kids. Okay, you had kids. You have 2. They're friends with each other. They're within a close age range. You have 1 of each. Technically on paper, you checked all the boxes off. So third one is, if we're doing binary math, the third one is superfluous.
Okay, we're not doing binary math. And also, you're 32?
34.
Yeah, I get it. Things get weirder as you get older. You still can have that baby a little bit older. And maybe when the kids are a little bit older. How old are they? 4 and 8? What did she say? Why can't I never remember? 2 and 4. Yeah, you are in it. At 4 and 2, that 2-year-old is still wild, running around. Maybe in a year when you can reason with both the kids, and they're a little bit more stable, then you bring a baby into it and maybe your husband will come around. But don't do it now because you're afraid you won't be able to. It's you're hoarding kids just to be, what if I can't, God forbid, what if something happens and something's wrong with that kid?
Well, and you're having, each kid that you have adds 18 more years to, kids living at home. And, maybe your husband sees you guys retiring early. I don't know. That's 3 times college bills. That's birthdays. That's,
to her point, she's we'll figure it out when we get there. And plenty of families with less figure it out with more. Your quality of life is a little diminished, but also it's a little unfair to be I don't feel complete unless I have a third. Kind of negates the existence of these 2 other souls that are pretty all encompassing. So if push came to shove, I think it's going to have to be his choice over yours simply because yours is the addition and his is the stasis.
Yeah, that is hard though, because
but you could keep talking to him. And, what you don't want to do is wear him down. And then one day you get in a fight. He's I never even wanted a third. And from his perspective, he's I want to enjoy my wife and our family. And this is extra exhausting. And being a parent of 2 is already, you say you're so in love now, wait till that third. Unless you're super religious, in which case it's all love, light, and our Lord.
You got 10, yeah.
All things equal, right now, if I had a choice, I would say defer to the husband simply because of the reasons I said.
But I don't think you have to close down the conversation. I think you bring it up less often. I think you give it 6 months and you go, hey, I was thinking about this again. Do you want to close this conversation forever? Or is this something we can check in about and see where we're both
think you
at?
keep doing
if that
it.
changes
You keep
in a
at
year.
him. You're I know we're not doing it, but look how cute this baby is. And maybe he changes his mind. But I think you putting a clock on it or racing is exacerbating all of this. So
yeah.
And hear what he's saying. His feelings are just as valid as yours.
So we had someone write in with some religious drama. Remember, the stepdad was super religious and you were kind of what is going on? Because this person stopped going to the house because they were just questioning basically
the mom was blindly following the stepdad.
Exactly. And so our question asker wrote back in and first of all had an apology. I have to say, I'm sorry it hurts to hear some people won't listen to your podcast, but I think you got the general consensus of how my mother and stepfather operate, LMAO. Because that was a question where she said they'd never listen. You were I know, but it still hurts.
Oh, so hard.
That this religious couple isn't going to listen. This random 2 people in America. Yeah.
Where are you?
Iliza, I cannot believe how quickly you called out my mother for following along with my stepfather. Iliza, what you just said, remembering the question, because you were 100% correct. It started with the midlife crisis of buying motorcycles, specifically Harley Davidsons. My dad got one and then mom followed along. Same thing with the religious bit. He got baptized first. Mom followed along shortly after. This has been just shy of 2 years ago that this started. Mom's almost 60. So 59, stepdad is 61.
Okay.
And she says, Emily, thanks so much for your acknowledgement of being rude and offensive because I feel the same way. I loved hearing how supportive you both were. At this point, I've just started using their Facebook post for my own comedic relief between my husband and myself. I'll share a bit with you. Attached. Enjoy, Christina. So
that's it.
They shared a great meme. The parents, this is to tell you where the parents are at. It's a picture of a woman doing some sort of crystal thing with candles, black nails, goth, and it says, "Don't dance with the devil. Paranormal, Ouija board, tarot cards, horoscopes, astrology, fortune telling, psychics, necromancers, witches, yoga, Enneagram are an abomination to God." How did
Yoga?
yoga and Enneagrams? Isn't Enneagrams like INFJ or whatever? I'm pretty sure that's like a personality test.
Oh,
right?
yeah. They're right. Like corporate personality test. Yes.
That it starts with like paranormal,
different. I was thinking
Ouija
of
board.
Yeah. Okay. So your mom posted that. Okay. Well, yeah, of course we're right. And this happens. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being in a couple and your personality kind of becomes your husband's thing if he's the one that's kind of in charge. But when it comes down to isolating your child for no reason.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That is a problem. I just
Thanks
thought
for the
that
validation. Moving on.
Ending my 15-year relationship at 31 years old. Big sisters, help. Hello, Eliza and Emily. Can't forget Hot Scotty, too. I am at a crossroads that I never anticipated. I know you appreciate context, so I'll try to provide as much as possible, but feel free to edit if it's too long. I got you. I, 31 female, have been with my husband, 32 male, since we were in high school. For the most part, our relationship has always been pretty good. We have a lot of fun together, and the strongest part of our bond has been our shared interests and sense of humor. I know he loves me. I love and care for him as well, but some recent developments have opened up a host of conflicting feelings and unresolved issues that are making me see things differently. It all started back in February. We had just gotten back from our first trip to Europe, which I planned from start to finish and paid for 90% of. We keep our finances pretty separate. More on that later. I decided once we returned that I was going to stop taking birth control for my own personal well-being, not to start a family. Over the following several months, I noticed my body and mental health change in so many good ways I never expected, and my confidence skyrocketed. My husband's, on the other hand, plummeted. He has always struggled with depression and not taking care of himself, so this wasn't immediately alarming. But one important detail is that he is in massive credit card debt, over $20,000. We want to move cross-country next year, which we already had to delay several times due to his poor financial planning. And so to save money and help him pay off his debt, we moved in with my parents back in June and plan to stay until we're in a better spot. But once reality set in, he started feeling worse and worse about himself and the fact that he's now relying on his in-laws. For the record, I did not know about his debt when we got married, and he has been deceitful about the extent of it even after the fact. At one point,
When did you get married?
I mean, they've been together 15 years,
Yeah,
but let's
when
hope
did you
that
get married? And who has that much debt as like a 19-year-old?
Right. When you were dating, he was out getting secret debt.
Was it like a high school lunch tab?
At one point, he even withdrew money from a retirement account he had set up with a former employer so he could pay off some of the debt, but it just screwed us over even worse due to the tax implications. I had to find this out the hard way when we went to do our taxes and owed money instead of getting our usual $3,000 return. And the interest rate on his credit card is so insane that the balance is still nearly as high as it was before this whole debacle.
Oh my God.
Another important thing to note in all of this is that in my marriage, I do about 90% of the work. I'm the planner, the bill payer, the emotional regulator, housekeeper. I also make more money than my husband and have a much more demanding job. My husband doesn't cook or do household chores besides laundry unless I ask him to numerous times. It all came to a head about 2 months ago. I don't know how you put up with this for 15 years. 2 months ago, in an attempt to spice up our love life, we both made profiles on a dating app. We wanted to see if it inspired anything to chat and flirt with other people and possibly engage in a threesome. Great idea for a failing marriage.
She's like, I wanted 2 dudes. And that's not how he saw it.
We had rules in place and trusted each other not to be unfaithful. Fast forward a few weeks and I'm thriving.
Why would you ever trust this guy? Oh,
I know.
Sorry.
I'm doing my
You're
thing.
thriving.
Being sexy, chatting, having fun. And it definitely gave me some inspiration for the bedroom. It was great for a while until he became insecure about the attention I was getting. I met someone online who I connected with so well, it changed the way I saw my own relationship. This man was confident, emotionally intelligent, kind, motivated, independent, takes great care of himself, all things severely lacking in my partner. I have begged my husband to go to therapy. He has always refused. Around the same time I started talking with this other man, I went on a 5-day beach trip with my best friend while my husband stayed home. While I was away, he moped around the house, according to my mom, and made me feel like shit every chance he could. He would reply to me with one-word answers and call me just so I could hear how sad he was. He'd ask what I was doing, and when I'd say laying on the beach, he'd respond like, huh, must be nice. That's when I snapped. I hate him. I break up with him.
I'm also starting to get mad at you.
I know. I started spending more time out of the house, working late, hang out with friends, and he would just sit around feeling sorry for himself.
We're done. Is there more?
I asked myself whether I wanted to stay in this marriage, so I wrote him a letter detailing all of my feelings. I'm an open person, and all these were
sure
things.
It was received really well.
I know.
With the emotional depth of a walnut.
All these are things, but she does clarify, like she's told him all of these things before. None of it was new.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think seeing them all written out so bluntly hit differently. I gave him the letter the night before he was due to leave for a week-long trip with his band.
Oh, he's in a band.
He's a musician who travels frequently for his music. He seemed genuinely devastated by the letter and immediately started apologizing and begging me to give him a chance to fix it. I told him I needed time to think things over. So it was about 3 weeks ago. Since then, I can see he's making an effort, and I appreciate it. I believe him when he says he'll continue to fight and do what he can to prove he can be who I need him to be, but I still have doubts. So much attraction has been lost by having to mother him all these years, and I've now seen firsthand there are people out there that might be a better fit for me. My husband and I have always had very different personality types, love languages, and communication styles. While this can work in a relationship, I think both parties have to be at the same intellectual and emotional maturity level. We are not. He has since found a therapist and plans to put in the work. I just don't know how long I'm expected to wait around for him to catch up, and I don't know if these changes can be sustainable. All this being said, I love him so deeply, and I'm confident he can improve. And the thought of him not being in my life makes me sad. When I picture myself growing older, I want him to be by my side. The question is, do I stay and see where this goes, or should I make the risky move to end it and hope I find someone with whom I feel truly secure from the start? I appreciate you taking the time to weigh in. I've been following your work for 10 years and love everything you do.
Is it anonymous or is it a real?
It's anonymous.
Listen.
What do you...
In your perfect world, your partner would pick up on all this. He knew what he was doing. And he's had no one to kind of call him out on it because you're kind of always there to help him and you live with your parents. So in a perfect world, he would have seen that you were unhappy and that all he sees is you being happy doing something else. So it made him feel weird. But it doesn't sound like you ever sat down and said to him, here are all the things. So it's a little unfair because he might just be emotionally dense. And you are asking him to read your mind, even though he couldn't read the writing on the wall and obviously wasn't looking at you because physically you were probably giving him a lot of signs. I do think it is heartening that you said this to him and he was like, oh my God, like now that you wrote it, like I see it, I get it. And he's seeing you out there having a good time. It is great that he's making all these changes. It is a little unfair to be like, here's a list of things and I'm staying with you, but I don't care if you do all this. So I don't know that I care that you're like, I've been with him forever. I love him. Of course you love him. It's 15 years of your life. And you've known him when you were a kid, but you are like mentally looking at him like he's still a kid. Like you have evolved as an adult and he hasn't.
Yeah.
And you have this bond from when your brains weren't fully formed. And this idea, like I can't picture myself without him. We all are that way when you're in love with someone or when you have a bond or you're in a long relationship. And you would be shocked how quickly you can move on. Once you found someone and you have a taste of it. The problem is now you're not ignorant to to all the flavors out there. Like Eve has eaten the apple and that is the biggest issue. Adam was a loser and Eve took a bite of the apple and then she was like, oh my God, I bet I could be experiencing so much more. And God punished her because we don't like it when women know their worth. So you have a choice to make. And your choice is, do you stick it out with him? In a weird way, I'm kind of like, are you holding this guy's hand while he does the bare minimum? That's great that he's going to therapy. Do you believe he can get there? Or, because once you get the ick, it's done.
Yeah.
You are married, but it's not like a functioning marriage. You live with your parents. I wonder if there's a version where it's like, here's what I want to do. Because it's the only way to truly still respect you as a man. I need us to take some space. I need to take a break. I love you. I hope you're working on these things, but I need to show, like, to see if I really am, like, my soul is bound to you, or if I could date other people. Maybe I come back in 6 months because I miss you, and maybe in that time you've gotten better. But I just think it's fair to yourself to experience what's out there without cutting him off at the knees. Does that make sense?
I just am wondering, like, what's the, not that there is an actual obligation, but what do we think the time obligation is that he's going to therapy, he's going to change. How long do you give him to do that before you say you're not holding up your end of the bargain? Because he's doing the thing you asked him to do. There's nothing else he can do right now. But you're also not obligated to teach him how to be a human adult man.
No, and that's gross. And it's something that, like, no woman wants to mother someone. And it's also like he should be wanting to make these changes for himself. The credit card stuff is so unattractive. And, like, to continue to be that bad with money, there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of ego. And, like, once a man's ego is, like, damaged, it's kind of this, like, downward spiral. You owe him a little bit. You don't owe him a ton, because it sounds like all of this misery is of his own making.
Yeah.
What do you owe yourself? And will you be happy if you give him this chance and he only does 50% of the things, and then he's going to be mad. He's like, look, you told me to do all this. I did this for you. And it's not going to be a full 180. And if it is, he should want to change independent of you. Because the things that you're saying to him are about him making him a better person.
He's
I think
depressed.
you take a break.
He's unhappy. This is good for him. He needs to make some changes.
If you guys are already at a place where you're both, first of all, why the fuck is this guy creating a dating profile? You've got someone cooking, cleaning, and paying all the bills, and you need to sexually experiment.
They were trying to, yeah.
But you know what? You've been together since you were 15. That's fair. Like, you should know, like, how much better or worse sex can be. Maybe this guy's, like, super hot in bed. I don't know. But I think you can't unring a bell. And what's happened now is that now you know all the things you didn't know before. And I think I'm going a little bit out of bounds here, but I think you owe it to yourself to just explore to see if you do want to come back to him. I think you guys need a break.
But I think it's important to remember the excitement and the way that this other guy from the app can impress you. Yeah, because he's just talking to you once a day, or you're going out on a date. Like, he's not in your home farting in your bed. Like,
by the way,
yeah,
he also could be doing the bare minimum. Like, keep in mind, you have been so thirsty for all of these things, and this guy's offering you maybe just like a warm cup of water. Like what if you could have an ice cold Gatorade?
The videos you love where it's always like a lesbian, and they're like, does your man not?
That girl with, like, the exquisite makeup.
Yeah, where it's like, the first time dating a woman, I'm taking care of your laundry. I'm bringing you breakfast, I'm meal prepping. Yeah.
Gross. I mean, that's also, you've never dated before, so you don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think you have to leave the Garden of Eden. And if you want to come back to it, great.
Yeah.
Adam will still be there with a fig leaf on.
Yeah. I mean, complicated by the fact that you live in your parents' house, but you've done everything for this man. He's got to leave your parents' house
also. This is fucking gross.
Yeah.
He needs to stand on his own 2 feet, get an apartment, sleep on a buddy's couch, but, like,
get out of here,
you need to
sir.
see some for his own good. And then in 6 months or in a year, you can come back. You've got time. He should be making these changes independent of you. And that's really great that he's working on it. You don't want to cut him off at the knees, but, like, you will feel stifled and unexpressed in life.
Yeah.
If in his work in progress condition, you stay with him, because it will very soon become like, okay, I'll give you a ride. Okay, I'll loan you some money. Okay, I'll do the dishes.
Yeah.
He has no incentive to change because you haven't left.
Good luck with this man.
Leave him. Leave your husband. Leave your husband.
Okay, we have a follow-up from our little bud, the 14-year-old. I'm sorry, that was condescending. From our adult friend, the 14-year-old.
Fully legal.
Not fully legal, but who...
in some countries, fully legal and consensual.
Who had a complicated friend group, and she felt like her friends were gravitating towards this girl that she didn't really like. So,
and we said, that happens. Make your own friends, your little baby.
Because she was going into high school from middle school, and she says, "Hi, Liza and Emily. Thank you so much for your advice and kind words. I just thought I'd give you an update because it played out very much how you thought it would. I started high school and I really love it. The theater program there is awesome, and I actually got the lead in the fall play. Yay. I'm really enjoying high school, and thank you again for your advice."
She's like, I'm chair number 1 in Beauty and the Beast.
Lily hasn't said a word to me since the start of school. Alice is in theater with me, so it's really hard to try to avoid her. So Alice was the one that was Lily was her friend that was like kind of a goes with the flow, and Alice is a wackadoo. And Lily started hanging out with Alice. So she was kind of like, whatever. So Lily's not talking to her. Alice is, of course, in theater with her. The whole year, Alice has been nothing but rude, telling me I should run back to Lily and apologize for being a selfish friend, which is not true. I would listen to Lily talk for hours and not get a word in. And that ship has sailed. She's not speaking to me. Frankly, this is none of Alice's business to get involved in. I'm just trying to make new friends. I've overheard Alice and Lily talking about me, not in a good way, obviously, and it really sucks. I don't value their opinion of me, but I still don't like it that they get to be the critics of my every move. Alice has also been...
It's because they're obsessed with you.
Yeah, they're very obsessed with you.
A loser, they would not talk about it. They're obsessed with you.
They love that you're so self-assured. I mean, they don't it makes them mad because they're not that way. They're so desperate for validation.
Insecure.
And of course, Alice has also been super fake to my face saying, OMG, we should hang out sometime, and then turning around and talking bad about me. However, your advice has helped me so much. I've made a lot of friends in theater. I just don't want any drama for no reason, but I still need to be fairly professional to Alice since we have to work together in theater. Thank you again.
You guys aren't getting paid. You know what? You're doing great.
You're doing great. And they are talking about you because you're
sweat you.
You made new friends. You got the lead in the fall play. Ugh, they're jealous. And
she didn't say she got the lead. She said she was in it.
I thought she got the lead in the fall play.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then you know what? They can't touch you.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Alice
Let
is
them
probably
talk.
chair number one.
Alice probably really wants to be your friend.
Desperate too. Well, and remember, they all are like queer, non-binary. Like I think Alice probably has a little crush and is doing a little pigtail pulling.
I mean, maybe, or she's not actually queer and she thinks I don't know.
Alice
we don't
wants
know.
attention. Alice is a little lunatic. You've made good friends. You're in theater. That's the perfect place for you.
You keep gravitating toward the people who uplift you and don't think about it and let her just be crazy. And if she wants to be nice to you, great.
Yeah. And it's
keep doing what you're doing.
Being
keep
professional.
That star energy.
Yeah. Good work out there. Cobb or one more?
I knew it.
Cobb.
It's a talk with a cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
My top of the cob.
No, bottom first.
Okay. I learned something about myself yesterday.
Oh.
My son was very sick and we are talking moaning, crying, like just to the point where like I would just be like, what? What? Like you can't help it. Like it is a lot. He was so, and you feel, because you also feel so helpless.
Yeah.
And I was exhausted. Like I was really looking forward to just having like some time on Sunday. Like I hosted the Variety women's event and I hosted another charity for Jubilong. Like I've just been like in full hair and makeup all day like I just needed like a moment and I just needed it. And then he got so sick and I felt so, and he's like this perfect kid that never cries. And so it was just like, I also don't know how to be around him because that's not his behavior.
Yeah.
And my daughter's there and you're with both kids and they both want your attention and someone's petting the dog weird and you're like, don't hit her in the, like just, it's just like you're just parenting.
Yeah.
Two beautiful kids that you're obsessed with. I thought in like the hour that I had, I was like, you know what? I'll put out some more fall decorations because in my house it goes Halloween, which we don't do. We have like Halloween stuff out front, but inside is very fall. But then I have transitional decor that goes Halloween to Thanksgiving. And then I have around Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, we transition to Christmas. So there's like phases, removing some pumpkins, putting in some pine cones. Like I have a whole thing. The way I was coping with the sheer amount of stress yesterday, because there was one point I just put my head down on the counter and I was just like, he can just cry. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at this. My way of coping was spending so much time looking for the perfect fall wreath on my phone. And I look back at the behavior and I'm like, oh, like it is like a weird coping post-traumatic stress mechanism. Like I need to find something that will make this house calm and beautiful.
Yeah.
Because everything's so crazy right now. So I pulled out stuff from the garage. Like this kid is in the worst pain, screaming. And I'm just like, we just got to put up this wreath and maybe I lit up my Christmas lights in the house yesterday not even realizing, like, it looks selfish in the moment, but I think what I was like energetically trying to do was create something beautiful and calm and that felt good for me.
Yeah.
And I lit this like ginger pumpkin candle. By the way, that guy that used to make all like the leave-in hair shampoos and conditioners, they make candles now. I got one in a swag bag. And like the smell is very comforting. Like it's just me going around the house like while he's crying, like, we're just going to light a pumpkin candle here and put an acorn there and everything will be okay, little babies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's peak crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Like just like disassociative. Like I'll just decorate this house with fall decor because I can't control anything else. And at least this reminds me of a time that is supposed to be calm and cozy.
Yeah.
That was my bottom, was realizing that I dealt with stress by Googling the perfect fall wreath that I ended up ordering from a farm. That was like $120 because I wanted a natural one.
Yeah.
And this is where my priorities lie.
The fan bottom, semi-related. I mean, I'm perfect for right after Halloween. Bottom of the Cob, teaching elementary school on Halloween. These kids are animals. Can you imagine?
They really are.
You're in charge of an elementary class they just want to get out and go home and put on their costumes. And it's Friday. That's a tough.
We didn't have school on Friday, but I will tell you, a kid came and put his hand in Sierra's candy thinking it was up for grabs. I don't know why he would think that. I grabbed his hand and he wouldn't let go and I shook it. I was like, that's her candy. Fucking drop it. These kids don't say please. Like, I don't know. Your parents are all Gen X that was just like, it's whatever. It's LA. Aren't we all like sharing? These kids have zero manners.
Yeah.
You know who does have manners? The kids that come in from other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
The kids that come in from like less nice neighborhoods, I've noted, and I look at them and I can tell because I can just tell. I can tell by the costumes and they all say trick or treat. Mm-hmm. And there's no big deal. There's no one grabbing it. Some kids give out. They're like, I can't have peanuts. Can I pick my candy? Like, yeah, off the floor when I throw it at you, little brat.
My bottom is this morning I went to feed the cats their breakfast and they wouldn't leave this room that I'm sitting in right now, the podcast room. And they both were staring at my chair and I spun it around like it was The Voice, and sitting in it on its back was a dead cockroach leaking juices. Well, still kind of alive.
Okay.
And I thought that was rude that they brought it up onto my chair. It didn't crawl up on my chair. They brought it up onto my chair and I found that to be very rude. And I had to clean it up.
It was a gift.
It was a gift, a terrible gift.
It was a gift.
Yeah, that's their pledge to the Patreon. One half-living juicy roach. Top of the Cob. We have a top from Scott that he put in the threads.
Whoa.
So he,
Employee
on Friday
benefits.
and Saturday, got to record John Carpenter's live Halloween performance. And he shared some cool photos. And we were talking about it. John Carpenter, if anyone doesn't know, does the scores for his films, like the Halloween score. Like, that's all him. And that's why he can set such a mood, because he gets that part of the ambiance. And so he plays with like his son and his stepson, or his nephew and his son, some relatives. So Scott was there and I had friends that were at that show. So I was very excited that Scott got to do that. And his lovely wife had a great costume. So that was a fun top of the Cob from them. Should I do another person too so they don't riot?
Sure.
We got a lovely picture. Top going into Calgary tonight with the Northern Lights.
Ooh.
And it's this cool picture in our Patreon Cob thread. But I'm not a big traveler, but that's something that I feel like I would want to see in person. You know, the Northern
I've tried.
Lights.
I went to Iceland. I think it's a scam.
They hide the lights from you. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the tops. My top of the Cob is I have a new hobby that also, much like your wreaths, I got into because I've been stressed because I left my old job. I'm starting my new job.
She's letting you know.
I've been very stressed. So I start a new hobby, which is, Iliza, you're going to be so upset. This will be your bottom. 1/6 scale action figures. So they're about 12 inches and they have
Show me.
do you want to see one?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
I thought you'd have it like right there. Okay. You got to go into your collection. She has to go in her mausoleum. It's just you guys. It's just us right now. I don't know why Emily picked that color blue. I think it came with the house. Because I don't know why you would pick that weird like Washingtonian robin's egg baby nursery blue. But maybe it's because they're in Georgia. I don't know. It's more of a Buckhead thing. Hey, she's back.
Okay. So.
Okay. Who's that?
See,
Tony Stark?
But not even in his outfit. Look, that's a light that lights up.
Why isn't he wearing pants? Like, why were you so detailed on the scrotum? I'm just kidding. Okay. Did you paint that?
No, it comes painted, but it's pretty
What
good.
did you do?
I had to put the little batteries in. And I'm supposed to pose him cool, but I haven't figured out a cool
Great job.
pose.
Okay.
So that's it's a new thing I got going on. Look, he's holding this little.
I don't. What am I? How excited am I supposed to be about
Not
this?
excited. I told you wouldn't like this, and you would not be excited to know how fucking expensive it is.
Every time you curse, my heart lights up.
As
It's so
I
funny.
leave a full-time job, I was like, I should just get into this where I spent $180.
I mean, that's what those things cost. I'm done trying to make you different. You're 53. At 53, like this
Aren't
is just
you
how you're gonna
shocked
be.
that it's a man?
It's probably the only man that's ever been in your house. That's not like a plumber. And you're being so gentle with him.
I know, because I'm scared. I'm
think I
scared of
love
breaking.
him.
I do love him.
Okay.
I love Iron Man.
Can we move on from you? I mean, I
Yeah,
love
you do your top.
Tony Stark because I love everything Robert Downey Jr. does. I even watched, what was it called? What was the Vietnam War one that nobody saw that he did where he plays like a bunch of characters and wears blue contacts even though it looks very
Oh, well, everybody saw Tropic Thunder, the Vietnam.
No, it's a different one.
What?
What was the name of that show, Noah?
This is shocking because he has blue contacts as Kirk Lazarus and Tropic Thunder.
Right. It's off. I'm sorry. Maybe he didn't. Maybe the Vietnamese guy had like light eyes for some reason. It was called The Sympathizer.
Oh.
And I watched it, wanted to love it, couldn't quite get there, liked it. No one ever talked about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Something I will never say to RDJ if I meet him. My top of the cob was I don't really drink anymore ever.
Yeah.
And I went out with a group of moms who they were the moms from Sierra's class last year, and all of us got along. All the parents were all
That's
still friends. We
nice.
just like each other. Yeah. And so even though our kids are in different classes now, we still try to make time to see each other. And we went out and it's just nice. It's just nice to carve out. It was 2 nights in a row I saw friends. It's just nice to sit with other women and just sort of bullshit. Like there's no agenda. And we went to this restaurant called Mirate on Vermont because anything cool in LA is on the east side. And they had, here's my top of the cob. They had a gorgeous cocktail list. And I was like, you know what? Because I always get something with low sugar, like a skinny margarita. They had some drink called like La Soñorada or something, whatever. And it had clarified goat milk in it.
Ew. What?
I was like, I saw goat milk. I have a goat milk soap that a friend in Greece, a comic, gave me. And I was like, I bet this is great. And I was like, let me just try it. I got it for the table. It was clear because it turned out it was clarified. It was so fucking outstanding. It's one of the best cocktails I've ever had.
What?
So if you are in LA and you want a formidable cocktail list, check out Mirate, M-I-R-A-T-E.
That is shocking that it was phenomenal. I'm glad.
It was just great. And then like we walked next door and there was like the Dodgers had just won. And I also cue me finding out they were in the World Series. And it was this like big gay bar playing like Britney. And it was just like open and we just went and like low key danced. Like no one bothered us. It was just like a nice night.
Yeah.
Even though I did pay for the Uber and no one paid me back. So that's cool. But it was great. Nice little buzz. Didn't have a hangover and just came home to a son writhing in absolute misery. So
Yeah.
get you that goat milk cocktail.
Oh, no.
Folks, I will see you in Philly and DC this weekend. And if you can't make those, you can always come see me in Boston the next weekend. I'm also going to be in Reno and San Jose. And if I left off a city, just know that I'll be there if it's on the thing. Yamava here in Highland, California coming up. But got a bunch of them. Tickets at Iliza.com/tour. I don't care about your action figure.